can only do so much to the multi-layered effect and damage coming out from Team Evos. The Janna is just an additional tool to push them out, get them to safety. As we go into game, it is Evos Esports versus Team Secret once again, and Team Secret looking for this revenge, looking for the revenge to get back at Team Evos.
Now, just looking at the mid lane matchup itself, I don't think that the early phase will be favorable for the Gragas. He's just looking to play really safely, just going to be throwing some of all these barrels out just to farm out, but Evos, they're already getting poked by this Janna as well as the Xayah over the bot side.
Yeah, pretty normal matchup. You know, when you have Hamez on Janna plus Chewy on the Xayah, it's a pretty aggressive Baron lane, Dragon lane, sorry. Regardless what they're playing, especially when you have the Janna early on, it can put a lot of pressure on the Galio, and so Galio has to be a little bit concerned. That being said, they have a little bit more control around this Dragon when it spawns up at that 4-minute mark. Team Secret, though, they have a small window. Right before that level 5, they can actually load onto the Dragon, pick it up, and steal it away. And once again, we see the exact same thing that we've seen time and time again. Jungler goes to the mid lane, crashes this wave so they can rotate, dive either the Baron lane or the Dragon lane.
Well, G4 has no concerns of his safety whatsoever. He's still going to be saying to Trebor, like, yeah, I dare you to come up to me. And you probably won't be doing anything at all because you don't have the Dragon's Rage or level 3. So with that sort of information, they can start working on the Skull Crab over on the top side of the river. But joining alongside will be Tatsurii eventually, but Trebor doesn't really have too much help to work with, so Evos Esports easily secures that scuttle. Oh, wait. What?
Solo kill up in the top side. Thipper goes down, and now looking for a catch on the Hamez. Hamez flashes out, but Valdus gonna make his way down towards the bottom side river to get some control around this before the dragon spawns up. And have to mention as well, you know, Team Secret, or rather G4, had such a good response against Team Secret that the dragon's coming up pretty soon. Let's talk a little bit about this matchup, right? Akali versus Darius. Should seem like Darius is a little bit of hit now. Actually, a bit of a fight coming down bot side. They're looking for the catch around the Hamez. Hamez takes a lot of damage. He's not enough to survive. Instead, they trade back over on the Miracle, and then looking on the Catsatan. Flash away from the Tristana. As Chewy goes in aggressive. Now Azar is not going to focus. He goes down. Oh. Kali finds the credit for that one. Claims that one away. Tatsurii flashes onto the Honeyfruit. Survives with a drop of health.
It's Helter Skelter everywhere in the map. And as you were saying before that, we will have another kill up in the mid lane.
Miracle joins into the fight, but Trebor already picked that one up, so looking pretty happy for himself. Isn't concerned too much about this Galio. Instead, just gonna go back to farming his camps. Dragon spawning up in about a second. Valdus in position, and Azar takes such a safe route to walk into lane. Barely avoids the Rengar. Honestly, that could have been a really bad situation for Darius.
Yeah, it definitely could have been a whole lot worse as well. But I believe that Evos Esports definitely got a little bit of priority straight, just trying to actually get a little bit more breathing space for Thipper at the very least. So I believe Thipper won't be able to really leave the lane all too much, especially needing to deal with this Darius, who's always going to be shoving the waves down the throats of the Akali. So that will be one thing where Thipper will need to look for a way to join some of all these team fights.
Item pickup, it's going to be the Yomu's Ghostblade for Trebor, so gives him a little bit more move speed to rotate around the map and find a little bit more presence in this game. I mean, Rengar hasn't been a bad pick at all. I mean, at least not yet, but he also hasn't really found the impact that they were looking to go for when they drafted the Rengar in this instance. Looking forward to see them finally make good work with this. Go for a dive towards the Dragon lane, put some pressure towards some of these laners, but Team Secret giving them a hard time, rotating around the map so much, difficult to pin them down.
Yeah, this is the first time that we are seeing something entirely different for the side of Evos Thailand as well. Just look at how they are drafting this very assassin-focused picks. So if things were to go even worse, where they don't really get this Rengar activated, nor the Akali, then they're just going to be falling even far more behind. And now, here comes the challenge on that Mountain Drake.
A lot of members from both sides collapsing around this dragon. Good control from Evos Esports to kind of deny Team Secret from picking this one up. But considering it's just a mountain, I don't think either side is too desperate to pick this one up. Instead, gonna focus back around the lane to get some pick potential. Miracle almost gets the taunt on the Trebor there.
Oh, that's a close one. Thank goodness he wasn't really being taunted by the Shield of Duran, but then again, there wasn't anyone around from the likes of Evos Esports to be able to actually bring the pain. So that's the typical ninja moves, or you could even say Shaolin for Lee Sin. So for Evos Esports, they're looking to exchange this for a Rift Herald.
I think that Evos Esports are more than happy to take this exchange, you know, getting the Global Herald. Yeah, neither team has really been able to make this breakthrough, and I think it's partly because of the kind of wave clear that both sides have, you know, Chewy on the Zaya, Tatsurii on the Gragas, Tatsurii of course having a little bit less, but overall still pretty good wave clear from both teams. Yeah, I mean, Trevor's making his way up topside, but I don't think he can get too much done here, especially since he doesn't have much information. Meanwhile, Fiber key out to get a Noxus Guillotine over onto Thipper. Thipper dashes out and jumps back into false execution, is able to find some good damage. Now back over onto the Baron lane. Catsatan might just go down here as Chewy claims the kill. Instead, Valdus jumps over onto the Darius. Darius still has the barrier, gives himself a little bit more survivability, but the Winds of War should be able to come in. They pick up the kill with the Durans instead. Now moving down onto the bot side, misses the flash body slam, so Valdus survives, misses the cast too, shifting to find his catch onto the Grengar surely, but instead goes down, and Tatsurii is not able to equalize down towards the Dragon Lane.
Can I highlight how Sheldon has been getting 2 assists out of that? First by the knockup, and then she started punching down the next member, which was Tatsurii. Well, of course, that was actually some great plays coming from Evos Esports Thailand. There was that exchange going on. But yet again, Team Secret, they didn't manage to break open the top side, which was a little bit of a bummer to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a bit painful that, you know, losing out that bot lane without getting too much. But let's take a look back to his Chewy. He narrowly dodges out from the taunt from Miracle. And so now, losing some control around this turret, they move back forward towards Thipper. Thipper loses a lot of health. Howling Gale gets knocked out onto G4, but that just stops Evos, but it doesn't prevent them from getting more control around this jungle.
Now there's a little bit more spacing for Azar just to take this one over with. And instead, Evos Esports, they got something even better, which is going to be the mid lane turret, while they're also working on top side.
Yeah, Redemption gonna be used, clears out the way pretty well here. Good damage over the Chewy. He goes up with the Feather Stomp, takes down Thipper. Now back onto Miracle. Miracle should be going down. They're looking for the onslaught. The Shockwave connects over onto 2. Good damage onto Chewy. Chewy goes down. They get the Buster Shot. The push back. Almost finds the execute onto Janna. Janna survives with a sliver of health. Tatsurii runs away and jumping in. Catsatan moves over onto the Gragas. Gragas survives and trade back with Trebor taking the kill. Claiming that one. Miracle survives with a little bit of help, but he's still going so aggressive. Valdus in position to zone them out, and Trebor cannot find more.
Oh, wow. Just look at how close this game is. 6-6, only 1,000 gold difference to separate the two, or you can say it's barely even 1,000. Now, here comes the next big team fight that may just happen as they try to recuperate a buff steal coming in from Azar. No red buff whatsoever for Valdus as they are setting their sights on this Infernal. But this is where Team Secret, they can also try to make members of the side of Evos Esports to think whether or not should they actually go into the contest. But Mirko should be ready with his all up available if this Rengar wants to go for the Turtle Hunt.
So they have some good response against the Rengar. Haven't quite seen the fight coming in from Evos that they've been looking for. Not the composition that they've drafted with. And so right now, the pressure from Team Evos Esports. Too much for Team Secret to deal with. They're just going to have to relegate to giving this dragon away. Wow. Flashing in, Miracle gets a 2-man taunt. Isn't quite able to find more. The team is not ready to follow up with. So they just back off. Team Secret, good response, but it takes away a couple of engaged tools and disengaged tools from Tatsurii.
I love the swift response coming in from Evos Esports. Now they are also working on the mid side. It's only Catsatan right here. Where's the backup? And here comes Miracle. He's trying to set things up with...
They jump back in with the Shockwave, looking for the taunt back over onto the Darius. Darius has to flash away, but gets focused up by the Rengar. Rengar should be able to get this kill. Monsoon going to be used by just stalls the Rengar for a few seconds. Valdus moving into the back, looking to take down the Gragas. Gragas survives, but they change the target focus back over onto the Janna. Hamez goes down to double kill as Chewy looking to make a captain's play, tries to take down G4, but he gets caught in between 3 members of the side of Evos Esports, and Team Secret have nowhere to go. They lose 3-1, and Evos Esports move over to this Baron.
It's going to be the Glow Baron power plays in effect real soon, and this Lee Sin is way too far out of reach, having no health bars to work with. But here comes TP though. There is a chance that they might actually come in for a skill. Is this gonna be it? Let's see.
Jumping in, Lee Sin moves in, cannot quite find it. Looking for lockdown onto the Lee Sin. Should be able to get this one. Trebor trades back over onto Miracle. He claims that kill, but instead it's the Glow Baron slain. Taken down. Evos Esports with yet another tool under their belts as they take back the game away from Team Secret.
Wow, Evos Esports, they did so much within the span of just 2 minutes. While Team Secret, they were just looking to break down the mid lane turret, but they didn't really expect it an all-out fight to actually break loose all of a sudden. And you really have to give all these credit to Valdus because he was consistently seeking out for those kills, making sure that he puts many of these members aside and cause a very big disruption between the likes of the members of Team Secret, and they can't really seem to take him down in any point of time.
I have to say though, Team Secret have made the best out of a bad situation. That team fight towards the Dragon could have been disastrous. Sure, they lost 3, but they trade back for 1. And okay, Baron likely would have gone over to Evos Esports anyway. That being said though, they could have potentially got full swept, lost multiple turrets, not just and the Baron, and had to go and reset what would be put further behind. And so I feel like Team Secret have made the best of a bad situation. Now they have to stall out the Baron though. They cannot take a fight while the rest of Evos Esports is Baroned up. Instead, wait for them to expand the Baron, then move in. Look for a catch onto Catsatan, onto G4.
Going down here.
Looking for good damage to take down Rengar right away. Valdus goes down in between the tower. There's nowhere else to go for Miracle. He's gonna go down, taken down by the Darius. Azar gets the dunk off. Back towards the mid lane, they find good damage on the Catsatan, but they trade back over the Chewy. Chewy cannot survive the onslaught from Thipper and Catsatan combined. Big objective for both teams to pick up. You know, they want to look for a pick every once in a while. Trebor might get focused up. The Through the Hunt is knocked down over on the Lee Sin. The Dragon's Rage won't be able to save him. Redemption comes through, but Evos Esports collapsed on that side, and Team Secret did not find the chance to go for the Baron during that time. Miracle going to use the taunt. Almost gets the catch over onto Darius, but Darius walks out safely. So it's an apprehend and a retreat as they move back down towards the Dragon Lane to try and stall out the push coming in. Good cast, but he used to displace the remaining members of Evos Esports, but it doesn't stop that push quite yet. Midwave now gonna crash in. They're looking to try and siege out as best as they can. Azar doing a good job pulling the wave to the side as they look for the engage, and it's such a bad spot for Team Secret to be in. So difficult to look for anything. Apprehend back over onto Miracle, and then looking for his mid lane again. Evos cannot pull the trigger to find the catch they want.
It was a really good control coming from Team Secret's side as well. Just seeing them hold on strongly, even though they did lose Trebor, they have managed to catch the attention of Evos Esports well enough just to let them focus a little bit over on the inhibitor up mid. And of course, the worst case scenario is to lose the Baron earlier, which we didn't see members of Evos Esports make any form of rotation to do just that. Now, the next big objective here, Elder Ocean Drake. This will definitely be very helpful for Team Secret if they manage to get their hands on it, but Evos Esports will definitely not let them have it for free.
Okay, but Rengar and Catsatan are still back in base, trying to walk over now. Baron, Elder Dragon looking pretty low. Nice flash in with the taunt, gets onto 3. Now looking for the catch over to Hamez. Thipper over the backline, looking to try and get into the fight with the Galio. They jump in, they barely manage to find a clip over the Chewy, but Chewy goes in with the Featherstone, flashes out. Valdus tries to jump in, right back on the enemy team. Azar burning down to the Ignite. They trade back. It's a 2-for-1 so far, and looks like Team Secret managed to find the fight they were looking for by taking down this Elder Dragon.
I think Valdus fat-fingered that. Did you see that he actually turned golden before even flashing over the wall? That was a huge mistake coming from the likes of Evos Esports, and they have to pay the price. This is where Team Secret finds that golden opportunity. No Rengar inside, no problem for this Baron power play to come in, as they are looking to shut down the rest of Evos.
Taking down the Tristana, the main damage goes from the Evos Esports. Team Secret walk right over to this Baron. They pick out Elder, now looking for this Baron. This is a great spot for them to be in. Hamez trying to zone them out. Tatsurii in the flanks as well, trying to prevent Miracle from getting into the pit. Instead, they focus over onto G4. The flash coming in. Nice Dragon's Rage to go and push back. Miracle gets away from the pit, but instead they manage to take down Chewy. And Trebor, not much health left. Uses a smite a little bit early. Thipper coming in for Thipper now. He has the false execution. Redemption going to be used to try to get out. The Glow Baron slain as Team Secret narrowly escape, sneaking away the Baron and pulling it right under Evos' feet.
Wow, this game is absolutely nuts. Now, you are seeing that Team Secret has a better chance at this once again. They won that scuffle. They absolutely got it all in the bag. All these big objectives now in their hands, especially with the Elder Drake, will give them so much more damage, especially in the hands of Azar when he goes up to the front line. And the problem now is that this Ranga, he's starting to scale off. He's already got all these items. In effect, yes, probably completed the Umos as the very last item, or, you know, the Umbral Glaive if he really wants to clear vision for the other side of the face.
Are we gonna see an Umbral Glaive again? Not this way, Contra.
I don't think so.
I don't want to see it. I think we have some other options, some other lethality options that could be really good for Valdus still. At this point, Evos Esports are kind of sitting back, you know, licking their wounds, trying to recover up, because as much as they're still in the gold lead, with the unexpected advantages that Team Secret have found with that Elder Drake, 2 dragons as well, plus now also having the Baron buff, is actually a pretty good spot for Team Secret, despite the gold disadvantage. So they're just gonna siege up the mid lane, start to look for the push, as Valdus could be the spot to catch out Trebor. Trebor in a bad angle, has to move away with the safeguard. Over on the back, Tatsurii pushes and displaces Evos to get them away from his team. Meanwhile, Valdus pops the throw of the hunt, looking to get a catch onto the priority targets. But nice disengage coming in from Chewy to just walk away, recognizing the threat coming in from this Rengar. Doesn't want to get too aggressive, instead they move back into the mid lane, looking to siege this one out.
He's going to be burning the Trill Hug just to make sure that they get all the ideas. Now they're jumping on Zeta.
They jump on the Hamez. Valdus goes golden. He still has the Guardian Angel as well. Miracle looking for the taunt. He must manage to find it over onto the Zaya, but isn't able to get much more done.
Wow.
The range is going to be used to get out of the fight. Azar zoning out Evo so well. His presence as his Darius is massive. Moving back onto this mid lane. They almost managed to find the upper hand onto the Orianna. Weren't quite able to do so. Instead, they're just going to back off after taking that mid lane inhibitor target.
And finally, Team Secret closes up the gap. Maybe right now, gold differentials don't really matter all too much because they got many of their core items, just landing the finishing touches with the final item in the back to first try to win a final team fight that will possibly be the decider of this match. Oh boy, I'm just grateful that we're seeing great display from both ends, and even for Evos, they had to actually burn a couple of all these Guardian Angel passive, but the good news is that Catsatan still has it online. So for the likes of Evos Esports Thailand, the only 2 members that has not completed some of these field builds or Tatsurii is going to be their support, as well as for Thipper to go in for perhaps a Void Staff.
And this is exactly what Team Secret are looking for, right? They managed to get the win up against QWQ. If they get this win against Evos, they put themselves tied with Evos Esports at the top of their group. And so suddenly, they have a good chance to get the buy-in right into the quarterfinals. And so now, looking for this game win. Okay, they have to focus around the Baron. Evos Esports, the one to start things up first, is going down so quickly. 5,000 HP left on this Baron. Lee Sin jumping in, but Valdus is the one that claims the Baron. Now they move on into the back. Azar tries to jump on the Catsatan, but Catsatan survives for now. Galio gets interrupted. Mid-jump, he cannot get out. And Thipper, the backline, gets exposed by the Lee Sin. He goes golden, but Thipper must go down surely. And Team Secret, despite losing the Baron, find 2 kills in that angle. Looking to crash out the mid wave. G-Ball over on the side, tries to take down Tatsurii. Doesn't quite have the damage to do so. They're just gonna move in. Apprehend! Cannot connect on this Orianna.
It comes real close. G4 does have quite an amount of burst right now, as she has a full build in effect. Well, as much as Evos Esports walk away with the buff, we see Team Secret having everyone left alive, so they cannot really force any sort of push. And with all these super minions attending that mid lane, it's going to be a lot harder for Evos to actually get anything out of this Baron buff. So they are sitting at this point where they cannot actually get any points stronger from here, which is actually a good news for Team Secret because they're still looking to, of course, complete a few more items in the bag.
Of course, they want to get a couple more before they try and close this one out. At the same time, though, it's getting a little bit dicey. Evos Esports, even with this Baron empowered wave, can barely do anything as it just starts crashing in. All three lanes are closing in towards Evos Esports side, and so they have to try to make the response. I love this adaptation. They're backing away from Valdus, knowing that the throw of the hunt is available. He's trying to jump in, but there isn't an angle for him to do so. They're a bit on the back foot, but they're more than happy to do so. If it means they can pull away the Rengar ultimate. Good cast, just to display them. Look at that. They cannot siege up the turret because of the solid defense from Team Secret.
Oh, here comes a flash!
Miracle jumps in, looks for the taunt on a couple members. Shockwave not able to connect onto anybody. Instead, it's going to be Trebor looking for the re-engage back to Team Secret. They can't quite find it. Redemption going to be used to heal back up. Instead, they crash this wave, hold on for dear life, and both sides open up the mid lane. They're looking to try and end this one out soon, Contra.
This is the first time that we are seeing Evos Esports being very desperate on their plays. They know that they have to shove all these minions as further down as they can in order to first pick apart Team Secret eventually. Thipper so far has been playing pretty much all right on this Akali, but this final fight between the two of them is the decider for sure. When we look at the contribution overall, it's always about Valdus opening things up, but we really need to get Catsatan in that prime position to take out Chewy as well as Azar. Trebor doesn't really matter. Right now, he doesn't really offer too much of a damage overall. And speaking of the jungler of TS, almost getting caught out.
Yeah, but you know, he still has a lot left in the tank, so unlikely to go down to Miracle, even if he gets the engage there. So just saving himself a little bit of harass though. Right back onto the Baron. I think we've seen this. This is what, the third Baron of the game. 27 minutes, so back and forth, both sides trying to close things out. It's a difficult one. Yeah, like you mentioned, that bush is looking deadly. Valdus hovering in that spot, could just jump in. Hamez doesn't have much HP to work with. If he gets focused on, might just die right away.
Now, 6 more seconds till we get the third Baron buff coming online. Ward's already in place. Evos Esports says, we are going to be shoving this mid lane instead, so you better make sure you take good care of it. Well, things are pretty much all well in balance, but the rest of Evos, they're moving right into the jungle.
Okay, they look for the catch over onto Tatsurii. Tatsurii gets over the wall along with Trebor. They survive this engage coming up from Valdus. That's an ultimate down for the Rengar. Let's see what they can do with that information. Wave's not in their favor, so both sides stuck in a dead stalemate. Giving Evos Esports time to get back into the game, not exactly what Team Secret wants, but then again, Evos Esports have actually been the ones to hold the goal lead for most of this game, if not the entirety of this game.
Yeah, and just, of course, having a little bit glimpse of the itemization, it's interesting to see Hamez actually building the Force of Nature. One turret being lost. Well, okay. Well, anyways, back to the Janna. That Force of Nature is going to be giving her a little bit more survivability against the Akali, and here comes a catch.
That survivability isn't going to matter if he just dies right away. Moving into the backline, Thipper is trying to jump back over onto the Janna, shifting to find this kill. Instead, the Ignite takes him down. He's dead. He's gone. There's nothing left for him to do. Azar over to the back end. Tatsurii jumps in, gets the assassination over onto G4. Catsatan survives a little bit longer, but look at the damage coming in for the Bramble Vest. He goes down to it. Miracle over the side. Catsatan flashes over the wall, tries to survive a little bit longer. Tatsurii taking a decent amount of damage. The Buster comes through as well. But for that, on the side of Evos, not sure what they have left in store. Trebor looking for that chase. Goes on a killing spree as he's trying to take down the Tristana. Delay the recall because guess what? Chewy is still alive and Team Secret on the victory march, trying to take this one down. Nexus still at 4K. Cassian tries to walk in. There's not much that he can do the damage on the Nexus too.